This time at the Quick Speed Shop, I've got the ultimate barn score adventure. You see all this stuff? See all this stuff? You see all this stuff? How about those? You see that? Oh look, there's one more over there. Let's get in the blue Ford, take the trailer down to an old barn, and drag all this stuff out. Found a lot of neat stuff. Some stuff I can't believe was in there, just laying in the garbage. So let's go down in the barn and start dragging this stuff out. Alright, so what we got here is 3 Worthington tractors. These are based on Ford parts. When we get back to the shop, we'll take a better look. But we got some, got to go over the data plates, but pretty much I use Model A and Model B motors. This has got drop wishbones, so it's a 42 and newer one, I guess. I'm not an expert by any stretch of imagination. Got 35 wires on it. Model A pedals. The dash is missing, but like original hitches. And look, this one uses 36 rear axle. This one over here, same thing, 36 rear axle. Oh, this one's got gauges. Also bent wishbones on the front. Original wheels on this one. Engine missing. I have the hoods. And this is an earlier one here. This has original wheels, 16s on it, with the axle pivot here. But this has got straight Model A, or 33, 4, 5 wishbones straight on it. So this is the earlier one here. And I believe there is a tag on it, so we can decipher later, right there. But I've got to unload the trailer at home, come back and pick up this other one, and then we'll unload the back of the truck and we'll take a look at the back of the truck. There's a lot of stuff. There we go. I knew we'd get it. Got it. I'm back with the Worthingtons. It's a little windy here, sorry about that. I've got a whole truckload of smalls, and I got 3 Worthington tractors here. I really want to tell you about them, but this wind is killing me, so let's see how we do with the wind. I might unload the smalls, and it looks like it's going to rain again. But basically what we got here is Worthington tractors. These are mowing machines, or they towed gang mowers on like golf courses and stuff. And they started out in the late 20s, just like Model A Ford started in 28. I want to say they started right around then. And they use Ford drivetrains with Worthington frames. And we'll start with this guy because it's the oldest. I'm not sure of the year, but it's got a serial number. I'm going to have to do some investigating. Worthington lawn tractor right there. And what we have here is, like I said, Ford drivetrain. So this is a 32 to 36 front axle with side steer spindles. So 32, 33, 34, 35 spindles. I'm sorry, 32 to 34 spindles, because 35 would have been side steer. So this is 32 to 34 spindles and drag link. It has a mount to mount the axle solid and pivot like a tractor. It uses a V8 front cross member. All 3 of these have V8 front cross members, so 32 to probably 36 front cross members. This is an earlier one. It has a 3-speed transmission, but it uses like V8 style pedals on a separate pivot with a 3-speed transmission, and it would have had a Model B or Model C 4-cylinder engine in it. These are the factory wheels to the Worthingtons. These stamped steel wheels with that pattern. That's a factory wheel. This is an earlier one with a seat on a spring, piece of spring steel. It's got like a 32, 33, 34 wheel. It's got a T, I think, key and amp gauge out of 2627T right there. It has screw-on pedals. It uses a Ford throttle, spoon throttle. Now it's raining on me again. This one, I'm sorry, let me go back. This one, like I said, it's got like 32, 33, 34 front wishbones. This guy, the green one here, has the same axle, 32 to 36 front axle, but it's got the stepped wishbones, I think, of and then they bend them around, but I think they're, 41 to 48. They use the stepped wishbones on the cars, so it looks like they changed. This one must be newer. It's got the same V8 front cross member. This one uses Model A pedals hooked to the transmission bell housing, but it is a Ford truck 4-speed with reverse lockout here. The reverse lockout's broken, but this is a 4-speed truck transmission in this one. And also that one's got a, 33, 34 rear end on it. This one, as well as the one on the ground, have a 36 rear end, which is 1 year only, and we can tell that by the axle bell tubes have the 36 wishbone mount welded to the tube, that this is 1 year only. So you still have the mechanical brakes, but you got the 1 year only thing. This one has a Model A, I believe, wheel in it. The 4-spoke wheel. That one's a 3-spoke wheel. I believe it's Model A. It would have some gauges in the cowl and all that. It's got a newer style seat with a toolbox under it. The seat is spring-loaded in the seat shaft itself. We'll take a look at this guy down here. It's the same. These, I believe, are the same era, same vintage. But here's the idiosyncrasy. This one's got the pedals hanging on the frame just like the earlier one, but it still uses the 4-speed lockout transmission like the green one. Somebody has changed the pedals on this. They put, these are like an aftermarket pad you would have got back in the day. Somebody put that one there. This one appears to have a cup holder. And we've got the gauges in here. Actually, they're worth more gauges, which are missing on the green one. But I believe these are probably the same vintage. It's got the seat with the little open toolbox under the seat, like that. And the seat pivots. The seat is on a spring inside this shaft here. There's some kind of spring or some kind of damper in there to give you some suspension there. But now we're back to the earlier 3-spoke wheel, unless somebody put a Model A wheel on that green one. That's possible. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. The air cleaner is mounted to the firewall, and it would come through here and hooked up to the engine. That's a little bit different. The green one doesn't have any holes. That green one doesn't have any holes in the firewall, so either somebody added that or the green one never had one. Maybe it's a little bit different. Unfortunately, there's no data tag I can find on this one. Oh, wait a minute, right here. They put it on the actual surround for the gauges. So that's serial number 2315. Look at the speeds, engine grade. That's pretty cool. So, very interesting. This has the original wheels on it all the way around. I wonder if this would have been like one of the original style front tires on it. This is like an ag tire. It appears to be. These double cleat Firestones, I think they are, on the back. Yeah, Firestone, what does that say? Power implement. These are, I bet they don't repop these. These are old, very old. These could be the original tires to this, I'm not sure. This one appears to be in pretty decent shape. It also has the 36 rear end here. Once I told you with the bells, it has the 36 rear end. It's got a different drawbar on it. Here you would have seen there would have been a hitch that bolted on. These had kind of like a pintle style hitch here that would allow you to hook up the mower. And these would tow like a gang. These would tow a gang mower behind them. I don't think there was like a belly mower, but here I see some kind of implement action, but that was probably something to do with the rear deal. I'm gonna have to do some research on the interwebs. But you would tow it back here. It's got a steel deck on this. You got some drains there to fill up your transmission oil and your rear end oil. It does have an emergency brake, which uses a Model A style emergency brake lever. So that's very interesting. I'm not sure what the steering box is on any of these. They look like they're the same, so I don't know if they're a car steering box from Ford or they sourced them from somewhere else. You see this one, this earlier one, oh, it has a sight glass for the fuel tank. That's pretty cool because you don't have any fuel gauges, and you got the Worthington on there, and I'll show you in a minute what the grill shell should be. So this one is a B1216. Huh. So I can look that number up. So this is one of the early ones. Like I said, it's got the early front axle, but it's in very nice shape. The wheels are really nice shape. Somebody torched off the front bracketry off the front of the frame here, but we've got a lot of completage. And these use, like I said, the transmission. They go, I think there's a gear reduction maybe in this box under here, because you got the torque tube mount through a box and then to the torque tube of to the banjo rear end. I think there might be a gear reduction in that box. I'm not sure. I've got to do some more research, but that's pretty interesting. We have 2 engine blocks. Like I said, they would have been 4 cylinders here, so they did come with 2 engine blocks. These are Model B or Model C blocks. They've got the fuel pump bossing them here. So actually, I could probably sell these engines at Hershey too. These blocks are, the B and C blocks are popular. This one's got the crank in it, obviously. And I have the pistons and oil pan for one, and I've got a Model C head for one, so I don't know why the engines are out of them, but I can run this. Serial number should be on these pads here on the side of the block. There should be a serial number in both of them. I can figure out what actually they are and what years they are. I also bought this gas pump here, which is a Gilbarco from Springfield, Mass. Not sure of the vintage on that, but it would have been mounted on a tank in the ground, and obviously you would hand pump it. I've got the dispenser that goes on here, but this is probably brass under here. I'm going to imagine that's been painted over. This is probably brass right here. But that was in the corner, and I grabbed that as well. Okay, it's the next day here, and I've laid everything out of the back of the truck. And it's pretty much unbelievable the amount of crap that came in a bunch of old dirty boxes and stuff. First of all, let's look here on the ground. We got steering wheels I've laid out all the parts over here on the ground. Model A steering wheels, the 3-spoke wheel, starters, clutches, parts. I got some like old soapbox derby or welding cart wheels here. Some bumper mounts, some clutches, brackets, cross piece for Model A brake rods. This was the ultimate score right here. If you guys know anything about these Echo Air Towers, this is a Model 97, and it was stuck together. I don't know where the guts are. They're probably lost in that barn somewhere. But the yoke is missing. But I've got the trim. I've got the face plate. It's missing the glass. It's a little rusty, but you can buy some parts for these. These things are like restored or in original condition with decent paint are $2,500 to $3,000 now at like Hershey and on the internet. So just the tin for this with the trim like this, to me is, you know, if you found this in a box at Hershey, they'd probably want $500 for it right here, just this. So I'm going to build myself an air tower. I'll get a yoke and I'll fix this up and paint it. I don't need the guts on the inside. It doesn't need to do air. I'll get a hook. I'll put I'll make some numbers for the back, or maybe I'll find some somewhere along the way. But I always wanted the air tower, and they were completely out of my reach at the amount of money they want for them now. They used to be $600 and like $800 and like $1,000. Now I said they're pushing $2,500, $3,000. So just to have the body, unbelievable. Picked up this mint no parking sign out of there in the corner. No parking 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or to 4 p.m. by order of police. It was originally white, and then looks like red and black letters on the front. So that's cool. Could probably just hang that up like it is. On the ground here, we got tons of lights. We got some light buckets here. I believe these are Ford commercial truck lights here. Got a bunch of miscellaneous. I think these are Model A, 3031 Model A lights here maybe. We got some other lights. Got a box of tools. This was a neat display. It was a bunch of gas caps on cardboard. It all kind of fell apart there. So let's go over here to the table, the first table. I needed two. This is a 2-table score right here, 2 tables. First of all, 57 Chevy Ford, or 57 Chevy bumper rubbers. I believe these are 37 Ford bumper irons because I got my 37, and I'm pretty sure that's what these are. That one's bent. I think this is a 37 fender brace. We got some kind of neat little like kerosene fuel tank for something. Got a whole bunch of lead, chunks of lead, pieces of lead. Got some strap-on fender mirrors for side mount spares. Got a mystery set of taillights. This guy was into some foreign cars, Alfa Romeos and Ferraris. So I'm going to guess these are for one of those. Don't know. These are aftermarket truck turn signal housing lenses with a whole bunch of buckets. Some more gas caps, Model A fuel cap. This thing is super cool. It's some kind of indicator made by the Brewer Titchener Corporation in Cortland, New York. Controlled probably like a heat valve or something. That's super cool. I got a Model A Model A Worthington speedometer for 3031 Model A. Over here we've got miscellaneous things. Look at this, a set of 34 Ford horns. This one's missing the screen, but I don't have horns for my 34 Ford sedan, and now I do. Can't believe it, right there, boom. This, I believe, is a motorcycle horn. See, it's like this. Actually, what does it say on the back? Delco Remy, 6 volts. So maybe it's an aftermarket Delco Remy horn, but usually motorcycle horns are shaped like this. So it could be a motorcycle horn. Whole bunch of suspension shock dog bones there. We got from France, Marcel. You've heard of Markel make fog lights and stuff. Well, this is the set of air horns with the air pump from back in the day. That's super cool. Another trumpet horn. Tons of cans here. They got used coffee cans, and I've got some stuff in them, but beech nut coffee. We got all kinds of stuff. An old tea can, like Peter Pan peanut butter. All kinds of cool stuff. Got an old stock 35-36 Ford taillight replacement there. Got some other trinkets here. I'm not sure what these guys are. The guy smokes cigars. Is this a cigar holder? I don't know. Some kind of trinket. International truck speedometer with the glass. Trico, I think, wiper, vacuum wiper motor. Some other miscellaneous smalls on the table here. So pretty good score on the first table. And over here in the back, I call this the light table. I firstly got some Ford trim rings, rib trim rings, regular standard trim rings. Got a set of chrome headlight buckets here, big ones, probably truck. This one over here has got a dent and a smash in it. Well, we got the lenses. It's got tilt ray lenses that came with it, and the trim rings. So it's missing reflectors, but the reflectors could be over there. I'm not sure yet. Over here on the light table, we've got all kinds of accessory cowl lights. I believe this is a Model A Deluxe cowl light that bolts onto the cowl. These are those fender marker lights I showed you the covers before. This is a pair of them that would go on your truck fenders. And actually the controller for them is here with a jewel in it. It's got a jewel controller that clamps onto the steering column. Then we got a whole bunch of miscellaneous lights. This one, whatever this is, incorporates this style mount on the bottom. That's the original mount. And then there appears to be two brass reproductions that aren't chrome plated. So I have no idea what that fits. Maybe even a bicycle, but I'm going to assume automotive because this guy didn't seem to have any bicycle stuff. Got another random light here with a Delta plastic lens. Another random light. Tons of these, like, I'll say post mount lights that mount on a little post. These are probably early. Probably used armored cables, probably maybe T or something. Like armored cable like this, like cowl lights maybe. Got multiple sets. Those are chrome. These are newer. These are an aftermarket, probably like 60s style GE light. It's got some kind of other light here that mounts with discussion like that. A little detail on top. I've got a matching set of these with two light mounts. They're kind of smoked and dirty. This one looks like it was in a fire. Who knows? Got other miscellaneous lights. This one light's pretty interesting. It is a clamp-on aftermarket light, but it's got this bubble lens, probably most likely 6 volt. That's a pretty cool light. Got a random lens here that's curved and fluted that doesn't seem to match any of the other ones. Got some red lights here. Got miscellaneous accessory lights. Got a bumper light or a fog light there. Just one of those. Got whatever these lights are. These might be boat. They could be, just because it's like half green. Maybe they're interior lights for houses, but I doubt it. They're probably boat or something, or maybe panel truck lights that go in the back of a panel truck. I've got some aftermarket lights here, but they look like they got 1157 lamps. They're a little bit newer, but they're made in Belgium of all places. A pair of them. Got this license plate bracket here, which is hinged like this, and delivery panel truck light where you, when the tailgate was up, the light would be mounted on the tailgate, and then when you folded the tailgate down, if you ran out the tailgate down, you'd still want the license plate and the tail light visible, so the light mounts on here. I believe that's what this is. Got an really early Ford logo here that mounts on the radiator shell, probably T. Other miscellaneous parts and pieces. Got the found the hubcaps for the Worthingtons here. These are interesting the way they mount like that. Got a set of really smashed up ones here, but we got the Worthingtons all out. We've got a little bit of scrap, very little scrap, like miscellaneous stuff that I didn't know what it fit, and like junk, like broken hinges and stuff. So very little scrap. Got some snow chain extensions. I'll save them. Got the seat for one of the units here. Got all 3 hoods laid out. Now I'm going to go through, all this cardboard is junk, but a lot of these wooden boxes are super old. I'm going to save them for display. Mostly whiskey boxes and, like, what's this one say? 2 dozen ginger ale. Usually they have a date on them. Can't really see one on here, but I do have a box with a date. You're not going to believe this, because I couldn't believe it either. Right here. See how the bottom folds up? This is hinged. This is the Starfold Box Company, size B, in Rochester, New York. John Elbs, patented in 1927. These are egg boxes, and when they're done with them, you fold up the bottom and you fold up the sides. They're all hinged. The thing folds flat. Now, they made these for hauling eggs, you know, in delivery trucks. They also made Easter egg boxes, which are a different size than this, that would hold Easter eggs way back in the day. You can look them up on the internet right there if you want. John Elbs in Rochester. But that's super cool. This thing, see, there's a trademark. It's got a picture of an egg box right on it. But this box is in really, really nice shape. It got a little bit of water damage there, but this is definitely a keeper. And I'm using that for a display. Got 2 radiators with the what do you call it? Tractors. Got a little bit of scrap here, miscellaneous scrap. I'm not sure what any of this does. Actually, that's kind of a neat spring. I'll save that. Miscellaneous scrap. That's kind of cool too. Can't save everything. I'm looking for the air tower hanger, the hose hanger for the air tower, but I can't find it. Here's a really old, this is one of the old Model A fans that would come apart and kill you. You can see right there it's splitting. Those things usually come off and go stick people in the neck and kill them. That would suck. And pistons and stuff for those Model B motors. I've got a ignition cutout for Model A here to the distributor with the armored cable and the pop-out ignition switch. Probably goes to this 2829 dash, Model A dash over here, I would guess, right there. Got a Fram auxiliary oil filter, a soldered funnel, actually a good exhaust manifold that I actually need on my tow truck because I got a vacuum leak, or I got an exhaust leak with it. Got a Tillerson aluminum Model A carburetor. Got a 2-jet here that's full of mouse crap. Got a new old stock, check this out, or replacement Wagner, 37 to 41 Studebaker truck master cylinder. New old stock. That's pretty cool. So there's tons and tons of good stuff here, all these smalls and stuff. A lot of the stuff I'm going to bring to Hershey. I'm going to box it up like lights together, and some of this stuff together like mirrors and stuff. So a lot of this is used, some of it's new. Like, I don't know what these distributor caps fit. I have to do some research. But I have a lot of this stuff is going to go to Hershey with me. Like things like this I'm going to save for hot rod projects, these dog bone mounts. But look at this needle and seat, Fomoco needle and seat kit right there, brand new in the package. I'm going to display all the cans when I do my can display. But a lot of these lights I'm going to package up, take to Hershey this year. I think I'm going to do smalls this year with Hershey. I think I'm going to put these actually on my tow truck because I didn't have a set of those. I'm going to probably marry up the 35 Ford taillight with this mount here and turn into a sedan delivery setup because that's the light that would have been on that sedan delivery mount. But basically, yeah, lots of neat trinket items here. A lot of neat lights. The air tower is a killer score. I can't believe it. I can put that together, look for parts, put that together. That'd be super awesome. Somewhere I have a wall mount for one of these. Usually they're on a pedestal, but they also had a wall mount. And if I can find my wall mount piece, which is cast iron, when I get the parts to put this together, it's going to get mounted right on the wall of the gas station right there. So that's what I'm going to work on right now, looking for parts for that. But before we end the video, I've got 3 more items in the garage that I didn't even leave outside that I got to show you, and I can't believe it. This air tower was a score. This is I just discovered this after I discovered the good stuff that's inside. I can't believe it, this air tower. But let's go inside. I got 3 more items to show you, and we'll finish the video in there. But one of them, you're not even going to believe it, because I can't believe it. So let's take a walk inside. In this box, it's a pharmaceuticals box from 1955. A set of tri-bar headlights. These are probably Lucas or something like that, with stone covers that are 12 volts. This one says bulb 303 on the back. I can assume they're for like a Jag. This guy was into European cars. He had 2 Ferraris back in the day that they sold in the 90s. So maybe these are in the Ferrari. I don't know. But these are original tri-bar headlights, 12 volts. With trim rings, with the stone covers. Those, I was looking on eBay. These got to be easily $200 or more, because the ones that are in the $200 range, the reflectors aren't as nice as these. And these both have really nice reflectors in them. I would say almost brand new. So that's a score. At Hershey, I want at least, probably at least 200 for these at Hershey. And then we come over here. I found this on top of a shelf. I believe it's new old stock, and it says Go on it, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So let me try to set it down here somewhere. So it mounts on a post with a light coming out the bottom. It says Go. It says auto indicator safety signal. Go, stop. So I think this thing rotates between go and stop. There's a motor in it, I'm going to guess. And yeah, okay, so you can see the different letters. It should rotate to stop there. That probably says stop, the other one. So that's super cool. The patent date is 1/8/18, so 1918. All right, so I did some internet sleuthing, and I figured out what this light is. 4-in-1 auto indicator safety signal. It actually goes on a car, and it's got left and right for turn signals and go and stop. So that's pretty cool. $15, 1919. Here's an ad for it. I can't find any pictures on the internet of one like on a car or anything here, but this is new old stock indicator, so I'm going to assume there's a light that would light up green for go, red for stop, and then probably amber for left and right. How cool is that? $15, 1919, Auto Indicator Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's super awesome. Oh, look at here. There's a linkage that runs it. It hooks to your brake. Man, too bad the linkage isn't around. Yeah, I don't have the linkage for it. I just got the light. So that's what this cable is. It's cable operated. It's cable operated. That's what that's for. Unbelievable. So I guess it either hooks to your brakes or else you pull the levers. It seems kind of weird that you'd have to pull the lever, but you might have to pull the levers with your hand. I'm going to guess that they sold very, very few of these because it seems super complicated. And I've never ever heard of seen one. But that's super awesome. So if we pull on the cable, will it do anything? Oh, look at that. It's turning. Hold on. Oh, wow. Look at that. Stop. That's awesome. Wow. And there's the turn signal for right. And the turn signal for left. That's super cool. So it's got a control mechanism, and you would run the lever to pull it. How awesome is that? Do you see that? That's unbelievable. How cool is that? Man, I just made my day right there with that. This guy had some cool stuff. And luckily we're able to save it, because it would have got scrapped. That barn's going to get cleaned out. And the rest of the stuff's going to get thrown away most likely. And the garbage that's in there, the old bed frames and old furniture and crap, going to get thrown away by the new owners. So I'm super thankful that I was able to go over there and get that stuff. Last piece of the puzzle. Remember I kept saying, where's the grill shells for those Worthingtons? And They turns out they're Model B Worthingtons, which are made from like 33 to like 39. So all three of them are Model Bs. The green one and the one of the bar cleat tires are later model, probably like 38, 39s. The other one, the one I want to build, is an early one, like a 33 or 4. And they use 32 Ford truck commercial grill shells. So you can buy those repop and stuff. So I looked and looked, because those grill shells are very valuable at any swap meet. I looked and looked and looked, couldn't find them in the barn, looked all over the place in the attic and stuff. So somebody either sold or stole the grill shells off those things years ago. But do not fear. What's my motto? Don't trash it, we can stash it. About 6 or 7 years ago, I was in one of my old-time favorite junkyards, and looking in a box truck, I found a grill shell. And believe it or not, it's a Worthington tractor grill shell right there, the B model series. Now the top of it's rotted off because it was laying upside down in a swamp, but I have the Worthington Model B grill shell to go on the Model B tractor that I want to do, hanging right on the wall. I can get the pieces to fix it on top. You can put a repop top on it. But there it is, the missing piece of the puzzle. So that's why you don't throw anything away. Why trash it when you can stash it? 7, 8 years later, I didn't have a Worthington then. I do now. Basically, that's it. I can't believe this was a heck of a deal for me. I don't usually do these big clean outs because I just don't have the space or time to deal with them, or know a lot of people. It's not like Irontrap where people are bringing them stuff, but this deal popped up. My buddy Marty hooked me up with a guy. The property was sold. There's actually a house on the other side of the woods there. It's on the Finger Lakes, and all those houses are basically, the property is sold for over $1 million cash, I guess, and they had to clean out the barn. And my buddy just ran into this guy at the campground or something, and he was saying, yeah, I got this property, like, if you know anybody that's looking for these old type tractors, like, I'll basically like give them away ish. And I don't have a lot invested in any of this stuff, and a couple of cases of beer and a little bit of money, and it worked out good for me. And the guy got a bunch of stuff cleaned out of his barn that he wanted out of there. So I couldn't believe it. This is probably like a once in a lifetime deal. Sometimes they come up, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time, I guess. And I guess I owe my buddy Marty something here, because this is unbelievable. So thanks for watching. I got to go through and box all this stuff up and decide what I'm going to do with it, and go from there. Whew. We'll see you next time.